Good evening to all our beautiful subscribers. This is your amazing channel, Remembering Africa's Greatest. This channel seeks to enlighten, educate, and most importantly, debunk the views of the Eurocentric scholars and try to clarify some of the misconceptions about Africa. I am your host, Omar Mendy, and I want to discuss 3 points, and I personally believe that these points would be the only way through which Africa can emancipate herself from the clutches of the Western world, from all that who seek to exploit the resources of Africa, from all those who seek to keep Africa where Africa is, and would do everything possible to prevent Africa from utilizing her resources to her interests. They would do everything possible to keep Africa where Africa is. If you look at NEPAD and all that it says, and the propaganda that some of these leaders or our leaders would tell us, is that Africa does not play any significant role, or Africa does not play a very important role in the global system. My take is Africa really does play a great role. Africa does play a very significant role. However, the role of Africa in the global system is not for Africa to be industrialized. It's not for Africa to utilize her resources for her interests. It's not for the development of Africa. The role that Africa plays in the global system is that Africa has to continue to be a producer of raw materials. Very important. And these raw materials would be used to feed the industries of the capitalist world and even China today. And eventually, they would then process these raw materials into finished goods and bring them back to Africa and sell it to us at exorbitant prices. Does it really make sense? To me, it doesn't make sense. Now, most of our leaders who are willing to fight this, who are willing to curb this, who are doing everything possible to make sure that the resources of Africa benefits Africans, are being killed, are being assassinated, and coup d'etats have been staged against them. These things are not new. We know exactly what is going on, and we are going to speak against it. We know what they did to Thomas Sankara. We know what they did to Olympio Sylvanus. We know what they did to Kwame Nkrumah, and all that they tried to do against Sekou Touré. We know. So it's high time something is done about this. Now, let's get to the points I want to talk about. The first point is, if Africa wants to be great again, it has to go back to the solutions or the suggestions or the ideological belief of the late Kwame Nkrumah. We see him as a prophet. He is a prophet to us with regards to Pan-Africanism. Kwame Nkrumah dreamt of a United States of Africa. It was in the 1960s. It was possible, yet most of the leaders would not give him the support he needed to make it a reality. And after 5-6 decades of independence, Africa is still not where it is supposed to be. This is not what our founding fathers envisaged. They thought we were going to be something else, something that they dreamt of, something that led to them risking their lives, sacrificing everything they had for the emancipation of Africa. West Africa today. So if we really want to escape all this, the first thing we have to do is let's have a United States of Africa. Let's do away with Gambia, Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, Mali, Casamance, whatsoever. Let's come together as one. Let's have one country. All these other states, whatsoever, could become states headed by governors like that of the United States of America. Let's have a United States of Africa, Africa with one president. A president that would represent the whole of Africa. Let others be relegated down to governors. America did it, why can't Africa do it? And that is to the best interest of Africans and to the disadvantage of the Western world. The second thing is, we try to have a common monetary system, or better still, one currency for the whole of Africa. Why should we have the Dalasi with the Gambia, Senegal the CFA, Mali the same thing, going back to Sierra Leone the Leon, Ghana the Cedis, Nigeria the Naira? Why should we be having all this? Why should one have to convert your local currency into another currency, if not a hard currency, so as for the West or the capitalist world to benefit, when you are just getting to a sister country? It does not make sense. Therefore, we need to have a common currency for the whole of Africa that would boost continental trade, regional trade, and Africa will benefit. Not when the CFA is being used, France would benefit. Not when the dollar is being used, America will benefit. Let's have a currency for the whole of Africa. And when we trade amongst ourselves, we are integrating. When we trade amongst ourselves, we are building that relationship. When we trade amongst ourselves, we are getting stronger. That is very important. So something needs to be done about it. ECOWAS, whatsoever. But to me personally, ECOWAS has not done much. The same thing applies to the African Union. How can your enemy, how can someone who enslaved you, how can someone who contributed immensely to where you are today still be funding your policies and your programs? There's nothing we can do for ourselves as Africans. This is a disgrace to us. There's nothing we can do without running to the European Union, without running to America, without running to China. What can we do? But the African Union, ECOWAS, all these things are being built by the Chinese, given to us. To what end? To what end? There's nothing we can do on our own. We cannot rely on ourselves. What is wrong with us as Africans? What is wrong with us as Africans? I think we have to go back to Ethiopia. We have to try to understand Ethiopia. We have to revive what Ethiopia has down to a level wherein it would be easy for us to grasp. I think Ethiopian history should be taught in all schools or tertiary institutions or even primary level, because we do not have a history that we can call a history in our schools. How can a colonial officer write something good about Africa? Who believes that he is superior to you? Who believes that you are uncivilized? Do you expect him to write something good about you? No. Therefore, we have to revisit our history. We have to look at the curriculum carefully and then bring in a system that seeks to fulfill our aspirations as a people. So the common monetary policy is very important. Let's have one currency for the whole of Africa. And finally, let's have one army for the whole of Africa. An army that is well trained, well paid, and an army that to a great extent will not be corrupted, will not be manipulated. An army with standards, an army that will not only be involved in the protecting the territorial integrity of our continent, but an army that will be involved in agriculture, an army that will be involved in carpentry and other fields or works of life. Very versatile, wherein they will be able to do so much. With farming, they will be able to do a lot. Carpentry, they could manufacture or make tables, chairs, and other things for schools. We don't have to be importing everything and anything. All these things could be made here. And if possible, those blacksmiths who are able to manufacture their own weapons be helped and given better things, and Africans will be able to make, modify, and manufacture their own weapons. So these 3 points are some of the solutions to proffer, or solutions I am proffering towards the total emancipation of Africa from the clutches of the Western world, and now to some extent China. This is your amazing channel, Remembering Africa's Greatest. Please do not forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so as for you to be able to have access to all the subsequent content we will be sharing rather. Please support this channel in any way possible. It is Pan-Africanism. It is Pan-Africanist, and we have a purpose, and that is to make Africa great again. Please explore with us, and please do not forget to click the notification bell and support this channel in any way possible. Thank you very much. I see you in the next video. Tata.